Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube lands, it's your boy Tuglo, and today I wanted to talk specifically about how to tell a good multiple from a bad multiple. Now, first off, we do have to lay some groundwork. The first thing being, you have to know what type of weapon you want to play between the mace, the axe, the spear, the sword, and the rapier. I might have missed one. I don't know. Well, I guess there is like the shield too. So if you do want to use a shield, that'll be with the sword or the rapier. Maybe the mace, but I don't know because I didn't even touch the mace. Secondly, once you know what type of weapon you have, then that will be able to tell you what skills are the best for what you like to do. Now, once you have the skills, you have to say, okay, is my playstyle, do I like to go for single target damage? Do I like to do area of effect damage? Do I like to be a tank? Do I like to be a supporter? Do I like to be glass cannon that does a lot of DPS? Once you're able to figure out those things, then you'll be able to look and understand your multiples even better. When I say multiples, I do mean pulls that are like this. You have multiple summons in one pull. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So this first one, as you can see, I do have 5 tabs open here at the top. So we'll go over 5 multiples, and hopefully that can kind of give you the understanding of how I view multiples versus, you know, just the, I guess, normal person. Because when I see a multiple, I think completely different. The first thing that I'm going to look at is, okay, did we get 4-star weapon skills? The passives, at least for right now, I am not going to prioritize extremely hard. If we do get 4-star passives, that's a bonus. However, that is not the main thing that we want to focus on. The main thing we want to focus on are the weapon skills for the weapon type that we want to choose to play with. So on this multiple, the first reaction of so many people that I've seen in my Discord server is, hey, I got 2 4-star weapon skills. This has to be a good multiple, right? In theory, yes, it is, just depending on what you're looking for. If your main play style is going to be the rapier, then yes, this is a very good multiple. You say, I only got one 4-star ability, and on top of that, you know, let me see what that one is, just to clarify for all the children in the class. Let's see. All right, here we go. And on top of that, this one is going to be a single target damage dealing weapon skill. How can you say that this is a good multiple? Well, in this game, you do want to remember that we do have 4 different options for skills per weapon. So with this, I'm going to be looking at this. Okay, hey, if I want to play the rapier, and I do not mind having the single target or the area of effect, because either one doesn't matter to me, then okay, I have at least this 4-star weapon skill. Then I have 1, 2, 3 more to go with it. Oh, excuse me, this is a dupe. So I've got 2 more to go with it. So then I say, well, hopefully, let's say down the road on my next multiple, let's say you get a shield skill or you get another rapier skill. Now you can add that to your repertoire, but at the very least, you're starting off with 3 different weapon skills, so that way you can fight those monsters and farm up and kill just a little bit quicker instead of having to just use one skill the entire time. Now, to me, this is going to be a decent multiple just for the sheer fact that we did not get 2 of the same rapiers, or 2 of the same weapon types, but 4-stars. So, yes, I understand that this Yuki is extremely good. She is a very, very, very good sword weapon skill. However, if we are focusing on the rapier, I don't need her. If my main is going to be a rapier, I don't need no sword. But if you're going to use your secondary as a sword, then we're going to talk something different, because now we have 1 sword skill and we have 2 sword skills. At the very least, we have 2 sword skills, so we can click the Yuki one, and then if the mob is somehow still alive, we can click that Klein one. Now, this is all under the assumption that that Klein is a damage dealing, you know, all these are damage dealing ones. Either which way, I look at this and I say, okay, if I want to be extremely greedy, I can save this and re-roll. However, If I don't want to be greedy and I just want to play the game, hey, I've got 3 different weapon skills that I can go out there and kill stuff with extremely quickly, because at the very least, I won't have to sit there waiting for cooldowns. Now let's go ahead and get on to the second one, just kind of get a feel for more of what I'm talking about. This one. This one, we have the Christmas Sachi, which is going to be that sword skill, which is extremely, extremely good. We also have this Silica, which is, she's kind of meh. Let me go scroll up over here. She has sleep resistance increased by 50%, and 50%, and she has increases the amount that the plants heal you by 50%. So that's just kind of meh. Like that ain't even getting put on me. If I got room on my support, I'll put it on her. Otherwise, I ain't even gonna touch that. So taking this aside, you'll say, oh man, I got 2 4-star characters, or 2 4-stars, but let me go ahead and analyze it a little bit further. So if this is going to be our main skill, you know, we see the sword. Okay, we got 1 sword skill, we got 2 sword skills, and we're kind of like, okay, that's okay. But let me tell you why this pull is just a little bit better. Remember, with the sword, you are allowed to use a shield. So we do have these 2 shield abilities right here, therefore filling up your 4 slots that you have for your weapon skills. Now, you know, these could be just a buff. They could be aggro increasing so that, you know, the mob focuses you. They could be a debuff. They could be an attack. They could be anything. However, it's better to fill that slot with something rather than filling it with nothing. Now, obviously, the passives, they will come later down the road, you know, once you get more once you get more Arcana gems. But the biggest thing that you want to focus on are the weapon skills, because I'm telling you, they are very important. Very, very important. Without good weapon skills, you can have the best passives in the world, but they ain't gonna do anything if you just hitting like tissue. If you just throwing tissue at them, it ain't gonna do nothing. Now, this next pull, we do have the OG Sachi, the Spear Sachi. Now, again, if we use that same method, okay, I want to use a spear, and the spear is 2-handed, so I can't use a sword, or I can't use a shield with it. So let me go ahead and see what I have. Now, we have this one spear, we have this spear, this spear, and we have this spear. So, assuming that all 3 are attacks, which I know this one is an attack, assuming this is an attack, we will be able to fill out 3 slots. However, it is unfortunate that we weren't able to get at least another 4-star passive, whatever it would have been. It would have been nice to have, you know, another, even if it was a 2-star spear ability, that would have been great. But as you can kind of see, the trend is going along the route of, am I able to get the same weapon skill, the same type of weapon skill for the 4-star ability that I pulled? So, like I said right here, we have 1 spear, we got another spear, and another spear. Everything else is kind of irrelevant. What good is that going to do you if you aren't going to use it? You see what I'm saying? So then this next pull, I saw this pull, and I tell you what, I could not believe this pull. This person got 4-star skills in 1 multi-pull, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is insane. But then his comment that he said, he goes, man, I've made it through reroll hell, I'm done re-rolling. And then I kind of just sent him a message, because he was a good friend of mine, and I was like, hey man, you might want to look at that again, because it's not really the best around, because you're kind of a little bit over here, a little bit over here, a little over here, a little over here. That's not really going to do you too good in the future. And he was like, well, what do you mean? And I kind of broke it down for him, like I'm trying to break it down for y'all through multiple instances so that y'all can kind of get the feel for it and understand it. I said, okay, well, look, let's say you want to use that sword skill as your primary weapon. Okay, well, we have 1 sword ability. We have no shields. So now you're only going to be sitting with 1 sword attack, under the assumption that, you know, this is the only things that you have ready to be equipped. Then I said, okay, yeah, you do have this 4-star passive, but that's not even anything worthy of shaking a stick at. Then I said, okay, let's take it from the point of, hey, you're going to use the mace. Okay, you do have 2 mace abilities, and I will give you that. Yeah, well, we know she's an attack, but still, you got 2 abilities, but then your other 3 4-stars, they ain't going to do you no good. The same with the rapier. You don't have a shield ability. You don't have anything to complement what you pulled. The biggest takeaway is this. Imagine you're building a sports team. You want to have 1, maybe 2 superstars, maybe 1 all-star and a 1 superstar, and then you need to build a foundation. You got to have a good, solid team around that. This is what your multi-pull is trying to be. Now, I was re-rolling double phones 10 hours, 2 days in a row. Then I was re-rolling for, a few hours on 1 phone. Did at least 80 multi re-rolls, okay? I didn't even come to this re-roll myself. I had to trade for it. Now, at first glance, you say, what's up with this? That ain't too good. And to that I say, well, yeah, it's definitely not the best, but once we break it down, it can be a little bit better. So, I was looking for the OG Sachi spear with the Asuna spear weapon skills, or I was looking for the Candy Yuki with the Christmas Sachi. Either one of those 2 would have been God tier for me. I wouldn't have cared what else I got. I just wanted one of those 2 setups. Now, I saw this and I was like, oh my god, that looks amazing. And then I started thinking about it and I was like, man, would I really mind playing a spear? I tried the sword out. It was really fun. I haven't tried the spear. What if I don't like it? So I tried the spear out and I continued playing it and I was like, okay, first off, this is really fun. But secondly, I started looking at this pull again and I said, hold up. The OG, I'm not going to go into the skills for this, but we are going to just kind of use that same method that I've been using for the final example. This OG Sachi is the main skill. That's my superstar. Then I have an all-star to back it up with this spear Asuna. Then I have a rounded out team because I have this Sachi skill right here, and I have this Sachi skill right here, both of which do damage. So that right there is fantastic for me. I believe one of them throws a debuff as well. I think a defense down debuff. I don't recall which one it is. But just know that that is really good. So I got my superstar, I got my all-star, and then I got 2 really great players right there on my team. On top of that, if by some means I am supposed to drop with less than 25% health, this 4-star Lisbeth is going to give me increased defense. So now I've rounded it out with a very strong passive coming off the bench. And this account, when you first look at it, it ain't, you might just be like, it's all right. But once you further analyze it and say, hey, I don't mind playing the spear. I don't mind having the AoE play style. And I don't mind it not having the best passives. But once you get down and answer those questions, then you come through and you say, hey, we've actually got good weapons, weapon skills. We have weapon skills on the same one weapon. That in and of itself is what makes a great multi-pull. So whether you want to copy this and say, hey, Tug went for the spear Sachi with the Asuna, the spear Asuna. I'm going to try for that same one too. Great. But just remember, there are also other weapons. You can get the 4-star Aegil with a 4-star Lisbeth for axes. Or you can do 4-star Aegil with another Aegil for axes. There are so many different ways. But just make sure the biggest takeaway at the very least is make sure you know what weapon you want to use, what play style you'd like to play, and then make sure you get and build your team. You want that 1 superstar, 1 all-star, and then build it out with something strong. Even if they're 2 stars or 3 stars, do not underestimate those because they are going to be essential for winning the championship. Guys, I know this was kind of a longer and it was more or less redundant, but I really wanted to just analyze different multi-pulls that might have looked good at the beginning or might have looked bad at the beginning, but then were actually the reverse once you really fully analyze what you got. Guys, thank y'all so much for watching. I know this was a long-winded video, but I really do appreciate that support a lot. Make sure you check out the description box down below where you can find links to my Discord server, my Twitch stream, my Patreon page, and any social media such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I do not mind helping kind of assist y'all in saying, hey, this is what I would do. Maybe you might want to do this if you're greedy. Or, hey, if you're not greedy, you can definitely play that account. I don't mind helping y'all out with that one bit. But it would help me a lot if y'all did drop that like, a share, a comment, or subscribe to the YouTube channel. It would definitely help make the dream become a reality. And once you do subscribe, be sure to turn on those notifications, baby. I got a lot more videos coming out. Now, guys, like I said, that's all I got for this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. And as y'all know, that's the fat lady singing. That's the bells are ringing. And until the next video, I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.